Okay guys, so coming off the ending of last week's chapter, we saw Elsie defeat Agnoella, who was revealed to be her mother, the former Queen of Lendar the entire time, who after losing the Civil War, turned herself into an android, and then took control over the Mobius system, a device that allowed her to create an endless army of soldiers, and she also used that to create her army of dragons. And then after defeating her mother, Elsie declared that she will be taking control over the Mobius system going forward, and when she said that, she had this very sinister look on her face, which was again Hiro trying to hint towards us that Elsie is actually the true evil, the one that's been controlling Ziggy this entire time. But like I've been saying since he actually started hinting towards that a few chapters ago, this is just one giant red herring, and we're actually getting confirmation of that in this chapter. Because as soon as this week's chapter opens up, we see Elsie jumping down in front of Justice, and then using her right as the Princess of Lendar to take control and activate the Mobius system. And when she does, we see Justice actually try to stop her, but before he can manage to, she uses the Mobius system to destroy all the dragons around and on the planet. And then after Justice realizes what Elsie was actually trying to do, we actually get this very emotional scene between the two of them, where Elsie actually starts to break down and cry, and she tells Justice that she doesn't want to fight anymore. And then this is when Justice says for the first time over the last 18 plus years, he actually gets to see Elsie for who she truly is, and not blinding himself for his revenge. Not seeing her as the truly evil person they actually kind of made her out to be, but seeing her as, well, the kid who made a mistake, a big mistake, that ended up costing a lot of people their lives, and she's been regretting it and trying to make up for it over the last 18 plus years. And based on the way this scene ends, and the way Justice was acting towards Homura in the last chapter after she saved him, it has me thinking that basically, maybe Justice going forward won't be as revenge fueled as he's been throughout the entirety of the series, and they actually might be growing as a character, somewhat. I mean, honestly, it is too early to tell if he actually is going to be changing for the better. It's all going to depend on what he does at the end of this arc, because as of right now, he has both Elsie and Homura, the two people he wants to revenge against the most right now, in his custody. So if he ends up taking them at the end of the arc and actually trying to arrest them, then honestly his character didn't change at all. But if he lets him go, then we actually do get some serious character progression for him. But the important thing from the scene is confirming that Elsie is not the true evil. And then this is when we cut over to Hermit. Because if you remember, back when Ziggy revealed to Shiki that someone has been controlling him this entire time, Hermit was listening in on that conversation, and she figured out who that person was. And ever since, she's basically been trying to do research to try to confirm her theory on that. And we see her in this chapter actually looking at video logs from 18 years ago, and at a conversation between Ziggy and Elsie. And it's actually the conversation where Ziggy actually gives Elsie the Eden Zero, with the intention of her passing on to Shiki once he leaves Grand Bell. And we see during the conversation that Elsie actually asks Ziggy why not just take this ship on to Grand Bell with him, and the reason he ends up giving her is that the ship is actually just too big. Since Grand Bell is actually a theme park planet, there's too many people coming and going from there, and the ship being there would actually just end up drawing their attention, which he doesn't want. And you know, that actually makes a lot of sense at first glance because he is a member of the OSG at this point, he's a criminal technically, and with his ship being there and possibly world famous, anyone who sees it will think, oh hey, Ziggy's probably hiding out somewhere on this planet, let me contact the OSI and they can come and take care of him. You know, if he's trying to hide out, it would make sense that he wouldn't want the ship there, basically just giving away where he's actually hiding. But here's the thing though, and I actually didn't pick up on this until someone actually mentioned it on Twitter, but we found out in chapter 1 when Rebecca visited the planet that no one has been to Grand Bell in 100 plus years before she showed up. Which means that Ziggy's reasoning for not taking the Eden Zero with him doesn't make a lot of sense because it's been at this point 85 plus years since someone's last visited the theme park. In that case, you think that it's pretty much abandoned and that no one's going to be coming, so it actually would still be the perfect place to hide out the ship. And even though she didn't 18 years ago, Hermit definitely realizes that this reasoning doesn't really make a lot of sense. And she basically sees this as proof that her theory about who the true evil is actually correct, which means this is not good for them. And then at the end of the chapter, we cut back over to Ziggy and Shiki, and after a brief conversation between the two of them, we seemingly see Ziggy get recontrolled by the evil persona and kill off Pino. And the reason why I'm going over this so quickly is just because I don't believe that Pino is actually dead. What I think is actually happening in this scene is that Ziggy's pretending to be recontrolled so that he can actually force Shiki into killing him because Shiki is so hesitant to do it. But once he killed Pino, Shiki got mad and activated a brand new overdrive, and this seemingly gave him enough power to basically one-shot Ziggy by punching a hole through his chest. Now I mean, obviously we're gonna have to wait until the next chapter to confirm that Ziggy actually is dead, but the fact that it seems like Shiki's killing him in this chapter is the reason why I really think that the whole Pino dying thing isn't true. Just because it feels like Ziggy is really, to me it really reads like Ziggy is trying to force Shiki into killing him since he's so hesitant to do it, and this was the best way he can think of to do it, and he probably just teleported Pino to somewhere else. And on top of that, I really feel like the emotional scene between her and Shiki where she's saying goodbye, it's emotional, but it doesn't feel like it's hitting the level that it should be with a character this important dies. Like when we got the whole scene with Witch dying in the last big arc, that was very emotional, that was drawn out, that was actually hit hard. And this whole Pino scene, it just, to me, it didn't hit as hard as it should be if this actually is her death scene. So that's why I think that Pino actually isn't dead, she just was teleported somewhere else, and that this is basically a fake out. But like I said, we're going to wait until the next chapter to figure that out. Anyway guys, that's it for the video. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you thought about the chapter in the comment section down below. That's it for the video, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.